Hi everyone, this is Emmanuel from Abbeywood Farms. I'm live on Abbeywood TV. I welcome you all today. And today I'm going to be explaining to you how to stake your creeping plants and why you have to stake your creeping plants. First of all, what is staking? What is staking? Staking is just the process of putting together either a metal structure, or you can use planks, or you can use bamboo, or whatever you desire on your farm to construct your stake in order to assist your plants to have more area to grow. So what are the benefits of staking your creeping plants? Number one, it helps your plants to produce more output, and at the same time to increase your the first benefit of staking your creeping plant is just to increase your output, and and when your output is increased, what else do you get? You increase your commercial output as well. So let me explain this to you. The usual way of staking your creeping plants is just, let's take for example, you have 1 acre of land, and let us assume you are planting ugu, for example. You should put your seeds at a distance of, let's say, 2 feet by 2 feet. Assuming you have a distance of 2 feet by 2 feet. When they grow out of the soil, the area surface where this seed can grow cannot be more than 2 feet. The area surface where this one can grow cannot be more than 2 feet. Also, this one will only grow for at least between 2 feet to 3 feet. This one will also have the same distance, the same surface area to grow, because they are bound by the same surface area, which is just 2 feet by 2 feet. So the output on this kind of planting will not be much, because the plant does not have enough surface area to grow. But when you stake your plants, take for example, you have your ridge. Let us assume this is your ridge, and you have your stake around it. You have another stake here. You have another one here. have your trellis bound to the stakes. You have your trellis around there. Trellis is the net that you put on the side of the stake. So you now have your hook planted on your ridges. Let's assume this is a ridge. We are using a ridge as an example now. Assume this is your ridge and you have your hook seeds planted on the ridge. When this one grows, it grows up the stake. This one goes up the stake as well. So every one of them will grow up the stake. Depending on the height of the stake, they have more surface area to grow. Unlike the other one that has just 2 feet by 2 feet to grow. This one will have at least 8 feet, or depending on the height of the stake you are able to provide. So don't you think you will get more from this than the other practice? So that is one of the reasons why you have to stake your creeping plant, because they have more surface area to grow over. So that is one benefit of it. Now, secondly, the second benefit of you staking your creeping plant is that it decreases diseases, and it helps you to control your diseases. It increases diseases, and at the same time helps you to control diseases. When you grow your seeds on your bed, while they are staked, when you grow your seeds on your bed or your ridge, while they are staked, they grow up the stakes. So by doing so, diseases from the soil will not be able to, attack your plants, because they are not growing on the bed. They are not growing on the ridge. They are growing away from the soil. So any disease available on the soil will not be able to attack your plants. And even if they have to, it will be reduced compared to the local way of planting your creeping plants, whereby they plant them on the floor, on the land, without even raising the bed up or staking it. So that way, diseases on the land will be able to attack your plant easily. But when they grow away from the soil, it will reduce it or eradicate it completely. So that is another benefit of you staking your creeping plants. So lastly, the last benefit of staking your creeping plants is that it helps you during harvesting. It helps you during harvesting. Usually when you plant your creeping plants like ugu on the soil, then that means during harvesting we need to bend down, or maybe if you are applying fertilizer, or if you are weeding the land, or if you are harvesting, whether during the weeding period or during fertilizer application or during harvesting, either of those times you have to bend down, to do whatever you have to do here. So bending down all the time, can cause you back pain, and if you are not careful, you can have a problem where the curvature of your spine will be twisted, and that will cause you what is called scoliosis. It will cause you what is called scoliosis. It is a terrible back pain that can be generated when you continue to bend down or lift heavy materials up from the ground. But because you want to save yourself from all of this, when you stake your creeping plants, you don't have to bend down when you are harvesting. All you need to do is just stand erect, and by using scissors, you just cut them at whatever level you want. So that way you will save yourself from what is called scoliosis. So let me just show you how to do that, because that is what we are practicing on Abbeywood farms. And whatever we show you on Abbeywood farms, those are what we are doing on Abbeywood farms. Whatever we show you here, we are not going to go to any farm to go and show you what we are not doing on Abbeywood farms. Whatever we tell you here are those things we are doing on Abbeywood farms. So what we are doing is, we have so many ridges there where our ugu plants are planted. So we have stakes all over them. We have stakes all over them. So we also have trellis bound to those stakes, so that the creeping plants can climb over and have an area to creep over. So when you are harvesting, you don't need to bend down to harvest anything. All you need to do is just set a point of harvesting. So while you are standing, you use your scissors. Assuming these are your growing plants. So while you are standing, you use your scissors to cut it at this point, 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 cut this at this point, cut this at this point, cut this at this point. You don't have to bend down. So when you cut all of these at this same point, what you harvest is anything that is above that point. So after harvesting everything above that point, you give it like a week or two, they will grow up again. So that way you save yourself from scoliosis, you save yourself from terrible back pain or back injury. So that's another benefit of why you have to stake your creeping plants. Not just ugu, but any creeping plant, whether it is watermelon, whether it is cantaloupe, whether it is cucumber, whatever thing that is climbing, you have to provide stakes for them. So that way, You'll be saving yourself from so many things, and your output at the same time will be increased 4 times. 4 times. You will make more when you stake your creeping plants. 4 times whatever you can make from the normal ground production. So those are just the benefits of why you have to stake your creeping plants. So I'm going to be showing you some videos of what we are doing and what some of those things we have done and how we carried out our staking on Abbeywood farms. So just sit down, sit back and watch those videos, and when we return, I will give you a recap of what has been said so far. Thank you. So guys, the process of staking begins with cutting of your bamboo tree, getting them ready for, the construction. Right now, guys are really working here, and they are cutting the bamboo sticks into sizes. So as they do that, they take it to the ridges where they have dug trenches, which is about 1 foot into the soil. So they will dig it into the soil, and at the same time make sure the joint in between the two bamboos are tied together with a binding wire so that it doesn't split. So after staking the ridges, what we will do is we will put trellis on it. But before I go ahead, let me just show you what we have done so far concerning the staking. So this is where we are starting by cutting the bamboos. So let's go to the next step of erecting the stakes. Yeah, I'm here today to show you that we have completed the staking of our Hugo farm, and very soon we're going to do planting, and after that then we put the trellis for the climbing of the Hugo plant. Just as you can see, if you look around, you see what we have done so far. We have been able to, cover an area of over an acre. We have put manure on the ridges, and waiting for some days now so we can start planting Ugu. By the time we go into the planting of Ugu, we will show you how you can plant your Ugu to have 100% germination. But for now, we're just showing you that we have finished our staking process. Thank you very much. And also, all right, everyone. If you observe this plant very well, you will see that it is attached to the trellis right now, and it's going to grow up all the way to the top and even beyond. But if you look at the surface area of where the plant is going to go through before it gets to the top, you will see the distance, and you can imagine if every plant has to grow from this point to such distance. So when you harvest, that means you have more output on your farm, because you have because of the large surface area which they have to go through, you will have more output, and that will increase your yield. That is one. Then secondly, if you look vividly at the bottom of the plant, you will see that it is raised up. It's not touching the ground. So that way, it is taken away from the bacteria, or let me say pathogenic bacteria or infectious bacteria that may be present on the soil. You know, so that's the way of controlling the diseases. You know, because it is raised up, so infection will be reduced or completely eradicated. And lastly, I talked about the harvesting. So when you have to harvest, just like I said earlier, you don't have to bend down to harvest. All you need to do is just set a benchmark, a point at which you will harvest all the plants. Let's say you want to harvest at the line 3 of the trellis. So that means everything up that line, you will cut it away. Then while you are standing, you don't have to bend down. Because bending down all the time, lifting up and, you know, doing all sorts of things may cause you back injury. You know, so we want to avoid all of this. And that is why it is better to stake and, you know, put trellis on your farm when you are planting some of your vegetables and crops that are climbing, that can climb up. So you can just take a vivid look at this one now. It's going up, and by the time it gets up there, it's going to grow like another 10 feet up the trellis. So you can imagine for this kind of length of 100 feet trellis, if we have to harvest all the way on one side of it, and on the other side as well harvest, you can imagine what the output on this small area of land where this is planted is. You can imagine what we can do, you know, harvest compared to the, you know, the usual way of planting on the soil. So this is just to, you know, upgrade our, you know, planting system, and just to advise guys on what to do to get more yield on your farm. So let's go back to class. Yeah, you are welcome back. And don't forget, this is Emmanuel from Abbeywood Farms. We are live on Abbeywood TV. Let me just give you a quick recap of all that I've said so far, and so that we won't forget. And let me thank you once again for watching the videos, and you're welcome back again. So I talked about staking. I told you what staking is. Just putting up 2 meters, you know, just to erect your plants and give it more surface area to grow. Some of those benefits that we discussed. The first one, I said staking increases your output. It increases your output, the output of your products, and at the same time, it increases your commercial value. Because when your output is increased, then the commercial value of your product will be increased as well. Secondly, I talked about the decrease in diseases and infection and disease control. Sorry, I made a mistake in that first video when I put my arrow up. The arrow up was supposed to be increase, but I meant to say decrease. So it decreases. That has been corrected now. It decreases. I meant to write decreases, but I explained it, but I meant to put the arrow down. It decreases disease and infection. It decreases disease and infection, and at the same time helps you at the same time, helps you with disease control. Because when your disease and infection rate is decreased, then your you'll be able to control disease and infection on your farm. 3. I explained that it saves you from scoliosis, which is a terrible back pain. You know, when you are bending down, it changes the curvature of your spine, your backbone. So when that is affected, you have what is called scoliosis. It will denature, the structure of your backbone. So, but because you want to save yourself from all of that, you have to stick your gripping plan. So you don't have to bend down when you're harvesting. So it helps you during harvesting and saves you from scoliosis. During harvesting and saves you from scoliosis. So this is all I have for you today on staking. Thank you for watching our video, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel, Abewood TV. That is where we are going to be showing all our engagements from Abewood Farms. I'm your host,